Hi, this is Owen Abbas from Behind the Gloves. I'm here with Anthony Joshua. Anthony, we're here at the press conference announcing the May 30th card. We've been told it's a pay-per-view card as well. You're fighting Kevin Johnson. Before I talk about that fight, I want to talk about your previous fights. Going off social media after that fight, there were certain people criticising. There was also a column from Frank Warren said you're a good fighter, but you've not fought a good level of opposition. How do you respond back to something like that?
What question? What one?
In regards to your level of opponents, the criticism that you're receiving.
Well, it's my career. First and foremost, I can do what I want. Secondly, I'd say it's no shock, because in the history of boxing, you come into the professional ranks and you fight journeymen. They're there to make you look good and to gain experience before you take the leap of faith, which is what I intend to do. So I think in everyone's career, at their stage of turning professional, they've all been through what I'm going through. So history is just repeating itself once again. Regarding Frank Warren and his comments, I think that we should ask him what he would do if he was promoting me. Would it be a wise move for him as a promoter to put me in the deep end, or would he keep me swimming in the shallow end before I make that leap of faith once again? And I think he would do the same protocol that Eddie Hearn or any promoter in the world would do. As I'm not his fighter, I don't see the need for him to be mentioning me in his columns. I think he should concentrate on promoting his own fighters. And I think that, like, from the likes of watching the WBC heavyweight champ Deontay Wilder go amongst his business, I think he was very clever, very calculated in becoming the WBC champion of the world. I think it's all something we can learn from. Sometimes patience is a virtue.
I was going to say, is that someone you look at?
Yeah, most definitely. There's so many different examples on how to go about your business, and as I said, the most recent example for me is Deontay Wilder. Some people may criticise him, but he's handled business, really, so he's world champion. I'm not saying that's going to be my route, but you've got to look at two ends of the coin, do you know what I mean? So,
let's talk about Kevin Kingpin Johnson.
Yeah.
You were supposed to fight him earlier on, obviously you got the stress fracture in your back. But he's an experienced opponent, somebody who's not been stopped. Is this the guy that's going to give you them rounds? You know, is that?
I can't say.
Do you reckon he's the guy that could give you the rounds?
You can't say until the fight. Because watching, what I've learned is that, you know, when you watch a video or a YouTube video of your opponents and you think, I'm going to do this, and then honestly, when you come down to the fight, it's a completely different ball game.
Let me restructure that question then. If you stop him, because nobody else has stopped him, is that a big statement for yourself? Nah,
styles make fights. Maybe I just had the style to stop him. I could go in against someone else and he could cause me one hell of a fight. Styles make fights. So I couldn't say if I stop Kevin Johnson, that's just a testament to power, not skills or ability. It's just maybe he was at the end of his career, he didn't train properly. There's so many different reasons, so I don't take nothing from it. You're only as good as your last fight, and that's how boxing is. So I don't really get carried away if I stop Kevin Johnson. Doesn't mean I'm going to be better than Vitaly Klitschko or something like that, you know. So it is what it is.
Obviously not looking too far ahead, but after May 30th, I think yourself and Eddie Hearn did say that, you know, you'd be looking at
Eddie Hearn, not myself.
You'd be going through like high level opponents. Somebody maybe starting off someone like Dillian Whyte, who you've got a rivalry with.
I think Dillian Whyte's got a rivalry with me. I think Dillian Whyte is more of a domestic dust up. I wouldn't say it's a step up. So it's just more of a domestic thing, where social media has kind of generated a little bit of attention around the fight. So, as I said, I think that's more of like a thing for Dillian that Dylan's requested, and I've really looked into it. I think it's a thing where he has a rivalry with me, and I think it's something we could definitely look into for the future. It would be a shame to take a step backwards, but I think it's a fight that'll be really interesting. It'll be a good dust-up for sure.
With Dillian Whyte, basically for the English title, there was no place been for his fight. Yesterday was announced for his fight. Would that affect you fighting game or anything like that?
I don't really get involved in purse bids and all that, so I don't really. It's all about just control, which promoter controls it. But no reason it would affect it. I think Sky Sports are a great company to build a fight. I think the history of it is that a couple of years ago he beat me as an amateur. I've gone on to do well. I think it's great because Dylan he's coming across as a caveman, an aggressive caveman style, and if I was to come across that way, the fight wouldn't sell. So you need good, you need bad, you need light, you need dark. So I'd like him to talk more to build up the fight, and he kind of does the job for me, and then we can get it on him and create a great night of boxing. So probably here at the O2 sometime.
Just wanted to lastly talk to you about somebody who's bolder and somebody who rates you quite highly, Vladimir Klitschko. He's fighting Bryant Jennings. What do you make of that fight? How do you see that one going?
Bryant Jennings, Philadelphia. It's a really, I don't know, I've never been, but from what I read and see, it's like, you know, murder capital, it's tough living. So to have a shot at the World Championship, take my hat off to Bryant Jennings, had very little amateur experience. I think it's a great opportunity for him to, like, not only is it held in America, but to bring the belts back to America. From what I see on social media, he seems very motivated and confident. And then I think at the same time as well, we're looking at Vladimir Klitschko. I don't know if he's past Joe Lewis yet, but he's up there along the longest reigning heavyweight champions in the world, and that's for no reason. He's a very good fighter. So I think it's a really tough task for Bryant Jennings. But if I was a betting man, I would bet that Vladimir Klitschko keeps his belts and Bryant Jennings puts up a good fight.
Perfect. Before we do go, I know you've got a website, ajboxing.com.
Yeah.
What's the latest? What fans going to see with that website?
Well, the website is based on 4 or 5 angles, which is a shop where you can grab merchandise, and like signed autographs for free. Talk about my sponsorships and brands that I'm involved in. A place of contact as well. What I do, I got someone to document some of my journeys throughout the boxing industry. So I give a little bit more behind the scenes footage, and that's just off my own back. I like that stuff, so when I look back in years to come, I've always got these in the archives. And they're probably the 4 points, and it's a point of access to me worldwide that people haven't got. Twitter, Instagram, some people haven't got these social sites, so they can all go check me out on what's happening on my website at ajboxing.com.
Okay, well, Anthony, good luck on May 30th. Thank you very much for talking to me.
No problem, mate. Thank you.